Okay, so that's what we've got going on, and we're thankful to have Suzanne sharing her knowledge here on this subject.
Okay, thanks everybody for joining. I'm going to go through just a few items, what you need in order to start your Bitmoji classroom or your Bitmoji craze. Then I'll show you an example of a slide, and then we'll go through and we will create one. And then I'll show you some more examples of other things that people have done, and share with you some resources how to move forward, because we're just going to do a basic overview, because you can really, really go crazy with these things. So I'm going to share my screen. When I do that, I'm not going to be able to see the chat. So if you just want to unmute, there's not like a lot of people on here. So, feel free to just jump in and ask me a question. So I will say that this is the first time I have ever created a Bitmoji room. Let me just get to the, oh, this is not the right PowerPoint. Why does that keep happening to me? 1 second. Sorry about that. I had it all queued up and then I closed out the wrong one. It's always something. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. There we go. That's the right one. Okay, so I'm going to start under the assumption that everybody knows what a Bitmoji is and how to create one. Yeah, so we're going to start with that. So this is my Bitmoji, and down in the corner you can, in the top, the one with the white hair, and the other one, the cute one that's waving, that's Amanda. So we both created them actually in 2 different programs. I did mine in Bitmoji and she did hers in Emoji Me. Is that what it's called, Amanda? Yeah, okay. So I've never used Emoji Me, so we're just going to go with Bitmoji for this one. So why do you want a Bitmoji your classroom? Well, first of all, it's fun. You can be super creative. You don't even have to be artistic, and you can look like you're really artistic. I had a great time creating the one that I'm going to show you in a little bit. And I actually had to just, last night at 10 o'clock, I was still working on it and still adding things, and I just had to say, all right, it's time to stop. Secondly, it's interactive, which is fun for the kids. It's not like a static lesson. There's all kinds of options and choices and things like that that you can put into it. It's a new way to present your lessons and your assignments. And you'll see that one of the examples I'm going to show you is actually a field trip. So people just keep being more and more creative with this. So it's a lot of fun. And there's, I just went into the next part. There's so many options. There's not just your classroom and your assignments. And if you're a librarian, you can, Bitmoji your library. We've had people that have created field trips. We've had people that have created games. But we'll get into all of that, and I'll show you some examples of that as we go on. So what do you need in order to create one of these slides? You can use PowerPoint or you can use Google Slides. That I've used both. For this presentation, I've used PowerPoint just because I'm doing a PowerPoint and it was much easier just to leave it all in the same format. You need the Bitmoji app, and I put or extension, but you need both. The Bitmoji app would be on your phone, on your iPad. There's an Apple version and there's one in the Google Play Store. That's how you're going to create your character. If you've never used it, that's another thing that can be a lot of fun and very artistic. You can change your hairstyle, you can change your eye color, you can change your clothes, all kinds of things. Once you have that, and that's where you create your character, is in the Bitmoji app. Then you need the extension, the Chrome extension, or I have the Edge extension because for some reason at CVES we couldn't use the Chrome extension. And I will show you what that is as we go along. The extension is where you grab your Bitmoji and then add it to your slide, because you can't do that from the app. It has to be from the extension. The next, this is a useful tool, is remove.bg. This removes the background of images, and we'll go through that as well. Sometimes with your Bitmoji, you like what the character looks like, but there's words and all kinds of things, and you don't want that in there, so you can upload it into remove, and it will take away, you can erase the words. You can also upload one of your own photos, and it will remove the background, so you can just have the main subject in the photo, and I'll show you how I did that as well. This tool that you want is the Bitmoji how-to master list. This was created by a teacher on the Bitmoji Craze for Educators Facebook site, which is something that you want to join. There's almost 200,000 educators worldwide on this, and they share everything that they do. They share tips and tricks and anything that they make. So if that's something that you want to join, if you're on Facebook, just put Bitmoji Craze for Educators in the search bar and request to join, and you'll be admitted into that group. And I highly recommend that if this is something you really want to do. I want to show you the master list really quick, just so that you can see what's on it. Hopefully it'll open up. Did that open up for you? Yes? Okay, good. So this was created, again, by a teacher, and it's pages long. It starts right at the beginning, how to start creating, what slides to use, and then as you go through it, it gets even more detailed, like how to make animations, how to make your dancing Bitmoji, lots of tips and ideas, links to videos. Snapchat, I don't even know how to get into that. So this is way above me, actually. So it's something I hope that I can have time to explore. Hopefully, there we go. Okay. All right, so let's look at, this is the Bitmoji slide that I created yesterday. You can see it has a combination of online photos that I grabbed, this pile of books here, the plant, these book titles. These were all things that were online, the window, the chair. Then you can see that I have also added images from my own house, mostly my cats. You can see this is one of them. This is my real cat. This one over here is one of my cats. I am a crazy cat and book lady, obviously. And then this is one of my dogs here in the corner. One of the things that I added to this slide is pop-ups. So this is a bookshelf with some of my all-time favorite books. And when you roll over it, you can see what the book is about. This is an actual picture of my Heidi book. It's falling apart. I must have been nostalgic when I was creating this, because these are all things that I had when I was a child. So you can see I just scroll over them and it gives you a little synopsis of the book, which is the purpose of my slide. Another thing I added in this one is my voice. Just a little. It was just a little tiny blurb. But that's just something else that you can add. Now this, when I talked about remove.bg, is that what it was? Yeah. This Bitmoji actually is sitting in a different chair, and I uploaded her and I erased the other chair and put her into this one. So with that, we're going to start with a blank slide, and I will go step by step through what we need to do. Hopefully that will work from here. It's not going to work from here. Oh, you know what I need to do? I'm sorry. There we go. So here we have a blank slide. Are there any questions so far? I tend to talk fast, so I don't want to ignore anybody, and I can't see the chat, so. No? Okay. The first thing that you want to do is to find a background. Behind your background, you just want to insert, We're going to go to online pictures. This is the easiest place to find your pictures. Some of the more advanced and clever people have gone to home design apps or sites like Wayfair or Amazon to find pictures of furniture, and they've inserted that. We're just going to go the easy route right now. There are also, I do want to mention that PBS Learning Media has created backgrounds, and I'll show you one of those after, but it shows from all their their programming for young kids. So you can upload that background and then add whatever you want to it. So the first thing we want to search for is a background. So what I would type in is floor and wall. And you come up with all kinds of pictures of floors and walls. And this is the one right here that I used. I liked that one. I did try to use this one yesterday and oh, there we go. No, see, that one doesn't work. So sometimes you find some that don't work and I'm not sure why. So we'll just use this one. This is an easy one. And then you just want to stretch it to fit your slide. When you click on the image, it gives you little handles to slide. There is a way, if you don't like this blue background, we can change that as well. You would insert a shape, a rectangle, and then highlight that wall, just like that. And then you can choose your color. We're just going to go with gray. I don't really like the gray, but just so that we can have it that way. All right, so now you've got your slide, your wall. Now it's time to do some decorating. So we're going to insert another online picture. This time we'll do a couch. One of the things that's really important is that when you search for furniture or plants or any of the other images other than the wall, the background, and the floor, you want to type in transparent, because otherwise you often get like a white box around the image when you download it, and you don't want that white box. You want it to look like, because then it doesn't look like it was actually in your room. It looks weird. So we'll put transparent couch. Did I spell it wrong? There we go. So then you just choose a couch. That's boring. Let's do this one. Click insert. And there you use your couch. So obviously that's too big for the picture. So if you choose the corner handle to shrink it, it keeps it in proportion. And then we'll just move it over here. The next thing you'd probably want to add is maybe a window. We'll do that too, and then I'll show you how to add the Bitmoji. So I like that one. I'll just put that one in. No, I'm not going to put that one in. Try this one. There we go. And again, you want to shrink it to fit and make it look right. So another thing that you're going to want to insert above or on top of this, obviously you're not going to look out your window and see your wall. So you would add scenery. landscape, that's what I meant to say. So that's a simple one. You insert it. And then, well, that one was not the best one to use, but we're just going to keep going with this example, even though that wasn't the best picture. But you see how it's covering up these windows? We want to send that to the back. And it disappeared. So normally it would show behind the window there. I'm not sure why that didn't work, but we're just going to move on from that and we'll figure that out after. Otherwise we'll be here forever until I figure it out. The next thing that you want to add is, we'll just say your Bitmoji. As I mentioned before, you need your Bitmoji extension. My extension is located in Edge. You see this little icon right here? It will link to my Bitmoji app. So when you click on that, here's all the Bitmojis that you can use. Now you can search in here for whatever you want. If you want an excited Bitmoji, you can find that. If you want one that's reading. So this one right here is actually the Bitmoji that I used in the scene that I showed you earlier. You need to save the Bitmoji, save the image as, put it on your file, give it a name. And I already saved this, so it's going to come up and tell me that we already have it. So that one's saved. Then you go back to your scene. You're going to insert, and this time instead of online pictures, you're going to go to your own pictures. Oh, you know what I should show you first? Let me do this. Let me just back up one step. I want to show you how to do the remove the background on that image. So we're going to upload that picture. I have a lot of pictures. Sorry. There we are. So there you can see it removed any background images there were, but it still has this chair or this pillow. So if you hit edit, we want to erase. And this is the size of your brush. You can see the brush right here in the corner. See the brush right there? You can make it bigger or smaller. You come on over and you just erase. And then I did not do the best job there, but that's good enough. And then you'll download it and save it to your images. So let's go back and we'll insert the one that's already been edited. And scale it to size. I wish there was a way to like flip my image, and maybe there is, and I just don't know how to do it because it would look better if she was sitting against the pillows, I think. But so from here, that's when you just start adding as much as you want in here. You can add a bookcase and then add books to it. You can add posters and pictures. You can add a rug. The only thing you want to make sure with your rug that you choose an image that's flat instead of a rug that's straight up and down, because that won't work. Although in that document that I showed you, there is a link to show you how to make images flat if they are not. To me, it's just easier just to find a flat image. So any questions so far? Do you want me to add any more things, or are we good where we are? And we'll move on. Let me show you actually while we're doing this. On my previous slide, I showed you that my Bitmoji was talking. So you would again go under Insert, Audio. So you can either record audio or upload some audio that you've recorded previously. So if you just record the audio, you hit this little red button and it starts, and she then has the little speaker bubble come up next to her and she would talk. I'm not going to record myself right now. Okay. Should I move on? Yes. Okay. We can always go back and look at things if anybody has any other questions. So this is our slide so far. And like I said, you can add, go, all kinds of things. So this is an example of a lot. I'll talk. Wait. Okay, so this is an example from the librarian at PHS. She did a read aloud of Devils Unto Dust for her high school students. They could come to this slide and they could listen to it. I don't know if she read the whole thing or just the first chapter. I didn't listen to it all. She also linked in, you can see as I hover over these books, there's a link to them because these are all ebooks that are available. So if a student wanted to check out this book, they could click that link. It would take them to the library and they could check the book out. And you can see she added, she made her picture go backwards, and I'm not sure where I went wrong on that one, but and then she added all kinds of little images. This is her cat as well. Yeah, so let's go to the next one. Oh, this was supposed to be the last slide. This is just some of the extra stuff that people have done with their Bitmoji. This up here in the top right hand corner, they created behavior cards. So it's a behavior game, and they used Bitmoji to create them. This over here is something I really want to do. If I had a cry cut machine, I would. Somebody took their Bitmoji and put it on a cup and on their clipboard. Right here, we have, this is a signature, an email signature. Now this is the one, this is super, super impressive when you see this. So we're going to look at this just a little bit. This is a field trip that a teacher created, and then she shared it with everybody so that they could also use it. Let me click on it. There are almost 70 slides in this Bitmoji presentation. I'm just going to go show you a couple of the things that she did because I couldn't believe, I was super impressed with this. So she took the map of the entire museum and linked every single building. You can go into the building and see different things. Again, you can go in. I don't know. I just thought this was amazing. Every single building, you can go in and see the different rooms that are in there. And you can always go back to the map to say. So, you know, if you have, you know, lots of time on your hands and really, really want to do this, I can imagine it'd be a great thing to do with the Kent Delord House or the 1812 Homestead or any of the other things that we have around here. Or even if you wanted to do like say a walking tour of your town. I think it's first grade or second grade. I can't remember. Maybe it's kindergarten. They learn about their hometown. You know, take a walk to the fire station, take a walk to the doctor's office, take a walk to the library, and put all these little links in there. I mean, it's endless what you can do with this. So this was one of my favorite discoveries as I was creating this PowerPoint. Okay. So here you have a school that Bitmoji their entire school. So here you have all the teachers in the school, and then they sent this out to the kids, and it was fun and whatever. Here's a teacher. Oh, and I had this all whited out so you couldn't see who it was. That didn't save. So this is a first grade teacher, and she made a Bitmoji for each of her students and then sent it out to them, which is very cute, I think. Oh, and I'm missing some. Let me just go back and find something. I apologize again. Because somewhere there's a slide from PBS. And that's not it.
So Suzanne, there's been some stuff in the chat, right? Like,
okay.
I look at, the field trip one you shared, and it was super cool, but it does take time. So I wonder if there's a way we could all, if we chose to do this, like, and share them, like, across with each other.
Yeah, I would think that absolutely. That's what they do in the Bitmoji for Educators site. They share it for anybody who's a part of it. I apologize. I don't know where the
kind of hijacking somebody else's stuff and changing it a little, like swapping out the Bitmoji and putting, us in it.
Right. Yeah.
So. Yeah, because I see it and I'm like, oh, it's cool, but it's a lot of work.
It is. That's why I think that person who did that, all right, I do not know where the other slides went. Let me just check one more place. She said it probably took her 70 hours to create that, and it's almost something like, I think you could collaborate like across schools with something like that. Somebody take the school building, somebody take the church, somebody take the other thing and just do that and then push it all together, and then you could all use it.
Yeah, and using Google Slides and those kind of apps, right? We can all share and work together.
So this morning, I went through and I created a whole bunch of other like little simple slides, and I had Mr. Rogers' neighborhood and the castle, and I was standing in front of the castle, and now I can't find it, and that's so discouraging. Yeah, but there were some other really neat things that I wanted to show people, but and I don't know where they went. I was so sure I was all set and had everything done perfect. Of course I don't. So let me show you the Bitmoji Craze for Educators Facebook page. Just so that you can see all the information that's here. So it's a private group, but as I said, you can request to join, and if that doesn't work and you want to join, send me an email and I will send you an invite, and then you can join. I don't know that I put my email up there, but I can do that. So they've just divided it into like popular topics, and then over here they have discussions and videos and photos and all the stuff that you can look at. So one of the things, let me just show you some of the other slides that people created from here, because that's where I got the ones that I was going to show you anyway. So here's another, this is another library site. This one is cute. This one's fairly new, the Equity and Equality Library. And these are all things that you can ask these people if you can borrow them or use them and edit them and make it your own. Here's a second grade math one. Some people have done their classroom and done all the subjects in one slide. You can divide it up and do it however you want. Here's the, it's not exactly what I wanted to show you, but here is the PBS Learning Media site. And these are all their backgrounds that they've created that you can download. So, you know, Daniel Tiger, Odd Squad, then my favorite, Mr. Rogers. So this was the picture that I downloaded, and I put my Bitmoji in there jumping all excited because that was like Mr. Rogers is one of my favorite people. So there's a whole list here of different things that you can use. Wildcrats, super popular. Lots and lots of fun things. So any questions? I apologize for the mix-up in the PowerPoint. I don't know where the other one went. I will find the actual PowerPoint that I was supposed to use with all the rest of the things in it. And that's the one that'll be posted along with the video.
Yeah, oh, you're getting lots of props in the chat. Yeah, this was helpful. I didn't realize like you could record and some of those things, right?
Yeah, and if you look at that, oh, my dogs are going to bark because my mother's at the door. If you look at that link that I sent, the master list, that has ways in there to, oh my gosh, to make your Bitmoji move and dance. And I'm gonna like mute myself for just a second.
Yeah, and that Facebook group has all kinds of like headers for Google Classroom or that you can use where people are running across or jumping up and down. Like there's one with all the kid Bitmojis jumping. So I feel like once it's created on the back end, you can take and put your images in there. The link to the master list, Angie, is in the PowerPoint that's going to be posted with the recording. And Suzanne scrolled through it right at the start. Oh, Suzanne, you're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, thank you. Sorry, dogs were barking. So I just put in my email in case anybody has any questions or wants to join the Bitmoji Craze site. Yes, the link to the master list is in the PowerPoint. So I think I might still, hold on, I might actually have it up here. I can put that link. Yeah, I do.
Nice.
It's a long link, but this is the link to the master list, if that helps. So I hope that was an okay overview, and it will get you started, and then you can get in there and you can explore and you can do, you know, whatever you want. Be creative and have fun, and I think the kids love it. So that's it.
Awesome, Suzanne. Thanks. Oh yeah, this document's great. It's got all kinds of stuff, and it looks like they keep updating it. So
yeah, they do. And I hope somewhere on the document is the name of the person that created it, just so, if it's not, I'm going to, I'll post it, I'll put it in parentheses next to it on the Google, on the PowerPoint, so that if anybody uses it, you can give her credit. It is on there? Okay, thanks, Angie. Oh. All right.
Okay, thank you. This was great.
So